Even though it's still summer and the 2024 draft was only a couple of weeks ago, it is never too early to start thinking about all of the exciting players eligible for the draft next season. In today's video, we are going to go over 5 of my early favorites from Russia in the class of 2025. Make sure to stay until the end to see an extended list of players to watch for this season. Let's get started. Ivan Ryabkin is the consensus top Russian available in the 2025 draft. While I wouldn't necessarily put him in the same tier as Michkov or Demidov right now, Ryabkin is just a small level below those guys and is on course to be the next elite Russian forward with a bright NHL future. He is an incredibly smart player with the skill to work his way to the net and solve complex problems with his quick hands and feet. He is not as dynamic or smooth as Demidov, but he sees the ice very well and uses his wit to plan next moves moments before they happen. When cornered, he escapes pressure using a series of precise stick handles that manipulate defenders into opening up enough space to skate through. He is an elite playmaker able to pull off ridiculous highlight reel passes to create dangerous chances every shift. While this is fun to watch, it is not always the most practical and can be viewed as one of Ivan's biggest negatives. At times this season, it seemed like he was bored while playing in the NHL and attempted to find new ways to move the puck. This does show off impressive creativity, but many of these passes were forced and resulted in turnovers, which could have easily created more points if he had chosen a more simple option. He has a powerful, smooth stride which he uses to get up and down the ice with ease and would very easily be able to keep up with play at the pro level. He does not have as good of a shot as Michkov, but finishes his chances and has the potential to become a good one-time threat from the wing on the power play. His defensive game is very high energy and surprisingly physical. He charges hard after loose pucks and finishes opponents with a thundering check into the boards to separate them from possession. Ryabkin has not received the same amount of hype as Demidov or Michkov going into his draft year, but he should not be slept on as a top 5 pick. He is an incredibly smart and crafty player with the ability to create countless opportunities on offense and give great effort on defense. Expect Ivan to split his time between the MHL and KHL this upcoming season and go very early on draft night. Next up, we have an absolute unit and one of my favorite players from last season, Vilchinsky. He is currently listed at 6'6", 240 pounds and is not someone you want to run into when rushing up ice. He is very physical and does not back down from any contact. He steps up with his body often in open ice, and there are very few players who can withstand his force. He moves very well for his size, allowing him to stay in front of opponents in defensive transition and seal them into the boards with good positioning and well-timed cuts to pinch off lanes. He has also shown an impressive ability to rush the puck up ice. He powers his way into the neutral zone, showing off the ability to choose smart lanes and transport the puck deep into the offensive zone. He will need to improve his timing and ability to choose moments to rush up ice, but this clip from a preseason game last week is a vast improvement from any of his rush attempts last season, and a great sign that he has been working on his offensive game this summer. Passing and decision-making are 2 important traits Artyom needs to improve. He has shown glimpses of playmaking ability, but was very inconsistent over the course of last season. He often throws pucks up ice without looking and had a lot of trouble hitting targets with passes on the breakout. Vilchinsky is a major work in progress, but has shown a lot of desirable blocks that can be easily built upon. He moves well for a big defenseman, allowing him a huge advantage on both sides of the puck. He has a major physical presence that opponents are afraid to go up against. He was given lots of time as a draft -1 player on a very veteran-heavy junior team, and you definitely can't teach his size. Vilchinsky will need to have worked very hard this past offseason to help improve his biggest flaws, but I find it very unlikely that he doesn't end up as one of the highest-ranked defensemen in the class of 2025. Ruslan Karimov is a power forward full of energy and ready to make a big splash in his OHL debut this season. Karimov is a Russian-born forward selected 6th overall in the CHL import draft by the Sarnia Sting after an impressive draft -1 season in the MHL with Sputnik and Irbis. There are very few junior players in the world that can match the energy that Ruslan brings every shift. It's like he's in a pinball machine, flying around and hitting everything in sight to win the puck for his team. He finishes his checks hard and times his attacks well to shut down opponents along the boards and level them in open ice. He outworks opponents along the boards using his superhuman strength and shoves opponents away from pucks. He is not the most talented offensive forward, but has enough skill to carry pucks into the offensive zone with speed and work his way to the net on occasion. A majority of his offense comes from in front of the net, where he does a fantastic job carving out space in the crease and getting sticks on loose pucks for quick shots on goal, and tips passes and shots into the back of the net very well. Karimov was a guy that I was really excited to watch this upcoming season, and while I'm disappointed that he will not be in the MHL this year, I think that moving to the OHL is a fantastic career decision. He will get to go up against some of the best players in the world on a daily basis, and I believe it is crucial for players to get many new perspectives on the game in order to reach their full potential. I think Sarnia fans will be very happy with their new addition. Karimov brings a fast-paced, physical style of play to the OHL and will likely shoot up the draft boards as more people get a good look at him. The next player up is Dynamo Moskva defenseman Kurban Limatov. Limatov is a 6'4", smooth-skating two-way defenseman that looks primed for a breakout season this year. He is extremely aggressive on both sides of the puck and is willing to take risks to make a good play. His skating is the base of his game. He is very agile and able to pull off quick stops, starts, turns, and cuts to escape pressure and take advantage of ice in front of him. When given an open lane, he explodes up ice with speed and can take the puck into the offensive zone with ease. He has shown off an impressive ability to blend pass receptions into cuts up ice with skilled edge work and dekes. He has also shown flashes of great handling ability, pulling off smooth drag moves around opponents and using quick stick handles to change the positioning of the puck on his body to protect possession. Playmaking is one area where Kurban needs a ton of work. He has the skill and footwork to be able to set up chances in the offensive zone, but his IQ lacks behind. He doesn't see the ice very well yet and will need to learn how to distribute the puck more effectively to become a true quarterback threat in the offensive zone. Defensively, he was solid this past year, but will need to become stronger on opponents. He has the footwork to stay in front of them in transition and can quickly slide to cover cutting opponents, but needs to become more physical when clearing the crease and battling along the boards. Over the course of this past season, he began to use his body much more when stepping up to opponents and in battles, which gives me hope for this upcoming season's improvements. He often jumps too early or too aggressively, leaving opponents enough time to gain the blue line, but seemed to be learning how to manage this towards the end of the season as well. Limatov likes to play fast. As he learns to manage the puck better and time his defensive movements, he could become one of the best defensemen in the entire class of 2025. I picked the last player, Kirill Kutuzov, as the biggest question mark from this year's Russian class. Kirill had a hot and cold draft -1 season, which left more questions than answers heading into this year. Kutuzov started off last year incredibly hot, scoring 7 goals in his first 8 games and pulling off some impressive moves to do so. After that hot start, he cooled off to a point where he was virtually invisible on the ice. He began to lose his spot in the lineup, and my excitement over his future began to dwindle. What excites me most about Kutuzov is the way that he reacted during this period of struggle. He began to work on other parts of his game and earned himself a spot in the lineup to finish the season off due to his hard work away from the puck. His offensive game is built around his elite hands and an NHL shot. He dangles around opponents into space and has a super quick release, which is able to blend into toe drags and stick handles. He has a cannon one-timer and a laser wrist shot, which allowed him to finish the season with 13 goals in 30 games. His skating and motor will need work, as he was not always able to keep up with play and couldn't beat opponents in transition when going wide with the puck. The part of his game that excites me most and that I alluded to earlier is his play away from the puck. He now joins scrums along the boards and uses his body to dig for pucks and quickly move them up ice. There are still a couple more levels in which this side of his game can be improved, but I am confident that he can reach his peak. Kutuzov is a very intriguing player with elite offensive upside and some great potential off puck as well. I would be lying if I said he was ready to be drafted right now, as he is very one-dimensional on offense and will need to learn to move the puck to create for his teammates. He has a long way to go, but I am hopeful that Kirill can find the missing pieces and have a dominant season on both sides of the puck with Irbis Kazan. As a fan of NHL prospects in general, it pains me to limit this video to only 5 players, so I feel that I should at least name a couple other guys to keep an eye out for this season. Pyotr Andreyanov is one of the best goalies in the class of 2025. The only reason I left him out was because I couldn't find enough footage on him, but he will certainly be one of the first goalies off the board. If you are interested in getting a deeper list of prospects, pause the video now for some more names to focus on for this upcoming season. Thanks for watching today's video. The class of 2025 is one of my favorites in recent memory, and I'm excited to see how these prospects pan out over the course of the season. Let me know which prospects are your favorite from this class in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel as well as follow my Twitter to keep up with my coverage of Russian hockey this season.